Good day. My name is Damon Johnson with Sage 50. I'll be doing a webinar this afternoon in my case. I'll be doing a webinar over Sage 50 and how it could connect to AutoEntry. Sage 50 is a full GAAP compliant accounting software package or a solution. Has a great AR, AP, and GL modules. Has a great inventory feature where you can purchase and sell to customers. It has an awesome payroll module that also has capabilities of incorporating direct deposit. Also, we have a great account reconciliation screen that allows you to connect to your banks using bank feeds, and or you can import bank statements, importing and using an OFX document. The question is, how do you come up with an OFX document? What is an OFX? Well, an OFX is an open financial exchange document. There aren't many ways to create an OFX document without having a special OFX converter. But Sage 50 has a way to create OFX documents using a feature called AutoEntry. And I'm going to show you that feature here shortly. Once you create that OFX document in AutoEntry, that file will be available to you. You'll just simply import that file into Sage 50, and then all of those transactions that are on that OFX document will be available in Account Rec. This feature is helpful because most banks using the bank feeds feature only allows you to go back 90 days. You cannot go back further than 90 days. If you wanted to import transactions, say from 2024 or a year and a half ago, using the AutoEntry and creating an OFX document, you can import, you can take your January bank statement, January 2024, you can scan it into AutoEntry. As long as you have grayscale and that 300 DPI, you can scan it into AutoEntry and it'll create that OFX document. Now, it's not instantaneous. It does take a few moments, but it will extract that data from that bank statement or that PDF, and it will create that OFX document or that OFX file. Once you have the OFX file, you simply take that file over to Sage 50, open up Account Rec, you will import it, and then it would bring in those bank transactions. And I actually have an OFX document I'm going to show you how to use. Other than that, AutoEntry is also used for bringing in expenses. So if you have colleagues or technicians out in the field and they're creating expenses, whether they're purchasing goods or whether they're purchasing materials, any supplies, they can purchase those supplies, and then they take the receipt and they'll take their phone and they have the AutoEntry app. They'll open the AutoEntry app. It's going to open it to your company. You'll take a picture of the receipt. Once you take a picture of that receipt, it's going to AutoEntry is going to extract the data and it's going to create an entry in AutoEntry. And I'm going to show you that here shortly. In AutoEntry, you'll simply categorize it, give it a GL account and a vendor, and then you'll publish it. That will get published to Sage 50. And then once it's published to Sage 50, you'll go into Sage 50, you'll see that bill, you'll go pay that bill, and that's how you can enter those bills into Sage 50 using AutoEntry. It's a quick way of doing it because no longer does those technicians or those colleagues out in the field, they no longer have to bring receipts to you. Gone are the days of receipts. Now they just simply take the picture, enter it into AutoEntry, and then now you can categorize it from the AutoEntry screen. Now, having spoken about AutoEntry and Sage 50, I'm going to go over the Sage 50 features here. This is my Sage 50 screen here. And within Sage 50, we're going to go to our banking tab here. In our banking tab here, this is where you can reconcile your accounts. So I'm going to open up Account Rec. And then you'll see, based on my date range, January of 2025. So I chose the end of January, or the end of June, I'm sorry. So now you'll see all transactions that were entered into Sage 50 that wasn't reconciled up to the end of June. You'll see these transactions in here. Now, the bank feeds feature, I will not be able to show you that here in this sample company, Bellwether Garden Supply, but I do have another company that I can show you how to connect the bank feeds. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we import. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to show you how we import the OFX file, and then I'm going to show you the transactions that will come in. What I'm going to do is we're going to go into AutoEntry. So I'm going to close my Sage 50, and then I'm going to open up my browser here. so that I can show you my logins. Okay. Now, AutoEntry is just a website. So you would simply go to AutoEntry. I'm sorry, I have the wrong page up here. AutoEntry is a website. So you would just simply go to your browser, go to AutoEntry. You'll type in autoentry.com and it'll take you to the login page. Okay, here we go. So once you're at AutoEntry, you just simply put in your email address that you use to register your AutoEntry account. And then we'll put in our password. And then again, remember, AutoEntry is full cloud. So any expenses that your technicians or your colleagues in the field took a picture of, is going to show up in your company. So my company is Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop. Now, once I click on that, you're going to see any bills that I have. If I had vendor statements, they will show up here in my inbox. If I had any sales invoices that my vendors sent to me, they will show up in this inbox here. My bank statements, oh, you'll see that I do have one because I already scanned it into AutoEntry. So I do have that bank statement. That's the one we're going to use to import into Sage 50. Also, any expenses and any file management here, this is great. If you would like an AutoEntry demo, we would be more than happy to do a 30-minute demo over AutoEntry, and we can go over all the intricacies of the software package. I'm going to click on this inbox here, this 28, and it's going to show you in my Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop here, all of the bills that were created from the colleagues and from our technicians out in the field. The ones that have green check marks and has the application or the solution under it, these were already published and sent over to Sage 50. These here that are green but doesn't have the Sage 50 underneath it, they've been categorized, but they haven't been published or sent over to our accounting solution. And I don't have any in here that hasn't even been categorized. But let me show you what one of these look like. So I'm just going to open up the one here, Chipotle, that hasn't been published to Sage 50, and I'm just going to view it. You'll see when I was at Chipotle, I took a picture of this receipt. Okay, and it looks like it was dated February the 12th, 2025. So what AutoEntry did when I took a picture of it is it extracted the vendor name. And I'm sorry, I actually do this when you categorize it, you choose a vendor and a category, but it extracts the date, February the 12th. It also extracted a bill number or what it assumed is a bill number or the order number. It also, when I entered that into AutoEntry on my application, I gave it a description of dinner. So this was my dinner. And then you'll notice that the total is 1108 and it pulled that total. Okay, all I have to do now is just publish this and I can go to the next one. But I'm going to go back. And if I choose to publish this Chipotle, I just click on that green check mark and you'll see it turn solid, but it takes a few moments for it to get sent over to Sage 50. Again, keep in mind, this is an API connection. So it's going to feed that data into the software, but there's a sync time. It could take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, but just remember, once you publish it, it's going to send that data over to Sage 50. Once it sends it over, you'll just simply go to Sage 50 and pay the bill. Now I'm going to show you about the bank statement. So whenever you want to upload bank statements, the first thing you'll do, make sure you have your company up, and then you'll come over and you'll upload a document. Again, you get to choose your company. And if you have multiple companies, you can choose different companies, but we'll choose Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop. And in the folder that I wanted to do, remember, I'm bringing in either bank statements or credit card statements. So I'll choose bank statements. And what it'll do, it'll tell you if you have PDF or electronic PDFs, you can use those and they'll scan much, much faster. But if you don't have electronic PDFs, you can actually scan your PDFs into the system. Just make sure that your scanner is set to 300 DPI and also to grayscale. If you scan in black and white, it's going to be blotchy and the system will not be able to pick up the characterization. So in order for it to pick up the characters, you have to print it in grayscale so it gives a smooth, clean image and not a blotchy black and white image. Once you scan that, then you can browse and you'll look for the PDF that you search for. I think I have it in here. That's the one I have right there because the company was the name of the company was NAP. So it's the NAP bank statement. So that's the one that I scanned into the system. I would just simply open it. I'm not going to do it again because you'll notice down here, The bank statements and credit card statements, they charge 3 credits per page. What are credits? Let me explain what that is. I'm going to click up here. I have a tab up here called pricing. The way that AutoEntry works is they work on a credit system. So if you want to know the price of credits, you can see the price of credits here, but let me explain these credits. Scroll down on this page, and this calculator is available to you. And again, if we do a demo for you, we'll show you this calculator again. Just kind of come up and you can say, hey, in a month's time, how many invoices or receipts per month will you use? And you can just slide this over and say, yeah, we'll probably do somewhere around 30 invoices or receipts a month. And then the percentage of those invoices requiring line items. Remember when you buy, if you go to Walmart and you buy a pack of gum and a soda, that's 2 line items. So if you wanted to show that you bought a pack of gum and a soda, you'll do each line item. Otherwise, you just want to see the total. And so if you just want to see the totals, you will not require line items. Line items eat up additional credits. So in this case, we're not going to do any line items. But when we're talking about bank statements, hey, we have 3 bank accounts, and usually we get about 15 pages per month. Well, keep this in mind. That doesn't mean we're going to have 45 pages. You only want to upload the pages that has the information you're seeking. Typically in a bank statement, the first 2 pages, just address and maybe summaries. And the last 2 or 3 pages, they're all disclaimers. But the middle section, that's what we need. So those are the pages that you want to scan. So out of those 15 pages, we'll probably scan 10. So we got 3 accounts, 10 pages. So in a month, we may scan 30 pages. Okay. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's just to get an approximation. So based on this information here, it said, well, you're probably going to use 120 credits per month. So they're recommending the gold package. Well, the gold package is $44 a month, and you'll see it gives you 200 credits. Well, the credits roll over month to month, and they never expire. So if you use 120 credits this month, it'll leave you with 80. But you're going to need 120 for the next month. So it's going to add another 200 credits to your account that next month. So now you have 280. Well, when you use 120, you still have 160 left. So it's not going to purchase any more credits. The next month, you'll still have 160. You'll use 120. You'll have 40 remaining. Then it'll want to add more credits. You can also cancel. Well, when I say cancel, I'm sorry, you can suspend your account. So that way your credits won't expire. They just won't purchase anymore. You just put your account in suspension. You can unsuspend it or bring it out of suspension state, and then you can start using it again and adding more credits. So just wanted to go over the pricing here of those, and you'll notice the gold package, it equates to about 22 cents per credit. But the larger the package that you buy, the cheaper the credits get. But of course, we're not going to go and buy 2,500 credits, and use 120 per month. I mean, that'll take a long time to use that up. But again, the price per credit is based on the package. We're going to go back to AutoEntry. And again, that's why here, you'll only want to use those 10 pages that has the information because they charge 3 credits per page. So now we're going to use 30 credits per account. So it's going to be 90 credits per month for the 3 accounts. Now, what's going to happen is, again, once you browse for that PDF and you choose it, then you save it and it's going to start the extraction process. Once the extraction is done, and again, it takes a while, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, because it has to go through and read that and extract that data, you'll eventually have a 1 here in your inbox. Now, I'll click on that 1, and what you'll notice is you're going to see my OFX is called not available. So remember, the name of the company is Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop - not available. That's what you're going to see, the file name. You'll see the date range of that PDF or that bank statement. This particular bank statement was for December of 2024. Yes, exactly. It's done through line items. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to go through and it's going to extract everyone. I'm going to show you the bank statement in just one moment. But this is the date range. So if you're going to, we had one customer, they rebuilt their company. They called and they said, hey, I'm sorry, we lost all of our accounting data for 2024 and we need to rebuild the company. So I suggested you can rebuild your company based off the bank statements, because the transactions that you enter into your accounting software, they have to clear the bank. Once they clear the bank, they're clear. So if you take that bank statement, you can actually build transactions off of what cleared the bank. So it's kind of a reverse process, but it works. So what we do is we recommend take your January 2024 bank statement and scan it once or scan it into one file. Okay. And then you do that for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Well, why don't I just scan January to December all in one file? Well, you could, but that's going to be one massive upload. And again, time is money. It takes time. So you don't want a massive upload of 12 months. Just do them 1 month at a time. That way you can upload them individually. Then when you open each month, it'll open up that correct file. So this is going to be for December of 2024. And you'll see it's just one file. Hey, let's go take a look at it real quick. So I'll just click that there. And here it is. So let's open. And there's that bank statement. And when AutoEntry extracted, this is what it did. Now, this customer here, they scanned everything in here. This is a waste. That was 3 credits. There's another 3 credits that's wasted. So that's 6 credits. This is where we get our goods right here. Okay. As a matter of fact, that wasn't a waste. We needed this page here because our withdrawals start here. But we need those pages there. And again, this is just a bank statement. This is the PDF. This is not the extraction. This is just a PDF. And again, we needed this page, but we did not need this page. Okay, so out of those 12 pages, there was about 2 or 3 that they didn't need. But again, this is the actual PDF that we scanned in grayscale, and that's why you'll see it looks that way. It's in grayscale. We scan that into AutoEntry, and then we're going to let AutoEntry do the extraction. We come back to AutoEntry. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the actual statement looks like. So now that we've created our OFX, okay, if I come back to Sage 50, I have to reopen it. I just did a demo prior to this call or prior to this webinar, and I had multiple companies open. So whenever you're importing or whenever you're going into account rec and set up bank feeds or anything like that, you want to make sure that you're in the first company. Okay, if you have multiple companies, close everything and then just open the first company, and then you'll be able to do the importing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import into Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop, but because it's December 2024, I need to go into this one here. So let me go into this company here. Okay, let me password 1. Okay, now that I'm in my company, I'm going to bring in the OFX. I already did, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So banking, reconcile accounts. Okay, and then you'll see here, that's the cash account that I want to reconcile. I'll import. And when I import, I'm going to browse, and it's only going to be looking for OFX documents, only OFX. This is the one, Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop, not available, remember? So this is the file that we would import. So I would choose it, I will open it, and then I will import it. And when you do, so it's going to bring those transactions in. Let me show you this here. I'm going to go back to December 2024. Watch this right there, auto clearing records. And now it's going to bring in that OFX. And you'll see all of the red flags here. This is the bank's transactions. Now, these are Sage 50 transactions, and the bank transaction, you'll see they auto reconcile. They're green. If the system can detect, hey, that deposit looks familiar with the one that cleared the bank, it'll group them and match them for you. If the system, it doesn't play games, so it doesn't guess, well, it might be or should be or could be. If it's not clear cut, it won't do it. It won't match them automatically. Then you'll just simply auto reconcile it. Now I'm going to show you this here. There was here's a deposit for $92.25. It could be a compilation of deposits. If you use a deposit ticket ID, it's going to group all of your deposits together and give you one number. That could be a number of checks, or it could be one check. Bank of America Mobile is probably just one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that bank transaction, and with the red flag, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say create new. Now, I could either open up the account register, or I could do a journal entry and create that $92.25 deposit. I'm going to do an account register because the accountants, they know journal entries, piece of cake. But let me show you the account register. So it's going to open the account register. Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to open the account register, and here's what you'll notice. It already knows the date, December 30th. It knows it's a receipt because it's a deposit. Now it just needs a reference number if we want. I'll just put 123. And then who paid this money? So if I hit the drop down, I get a list of my customers and I can choose the one that paid it. And then, of course, that customer is already tied to that income account. So it's going to bring up the correct income account. It already knows the amount of the receipt, the 9225. So now all I have to do is just save it. And what I just did is I know I'm not in the right period because this is December 2024. I'm in January 2025 period. That's why I say you're not in the right period. But yeah, I'm going to continue. Okay. And okay, that customer reference number has already been used. So let's just change it. Yeah, I'm going to save it anyway. That's fine. Okay. I just created that transaction. No, I didn't. It didn't save it. Yes, it did. Okay, it did. So when I close that 9225, I just created that transaction in Sage 50. So the bank cleared it. I also have the transaction in Sage 50. So that's how you can use a bank statement to catch up your transactions. If it cleared the bank, you need to put it in Sage 50. So again, you could, if your transactions are already in Sage 50, the system will either auto match it, or you'll just simply go, okay, well, hey, that $5 cleared the bank, and oh, here it is up here. So you can just check the box, okay, if that's what you want to do. So this is manually reconciling, and these are auto reconciled. But what I wanted to show you was that in that statement that I imported, that's what these red flags are. So auto entry could be used for creating expenses. So if you have vendors, or not vendors, if you have colleagues or technicians out in the field creating expenses, they can quickly upload those expenses into auto entry, allowing the accountant to go to one place, auto entry, and reconcile, or I'm sorry, categorize all of those expenses and send them over to the accounting solution. Auto entry can be used to download bank statements. It can be used to download credit card statements. And again, you use those to create that OFX document or the OFX file. And then you just come into come into Sage 50, open up your account rec, import. But before you do that, I'm sorry, before you import, please make sure you choose the right month. Because if I'm at the end of November, I don't have a bank statement for November. But if I import that December into November, I'm going to have December transactions in here in the month of November. So just make sure that you choose the right cash account first, change the date to the end of the month that you want to bring in the statement for, and then you'll import. And when you import, you'll browse, and it's just going to ask you to find that file that you're wanting to import. Again, do not do one massive file for all 12 months, because then it's going to bring in 12 months of data. You don't want that. You want to have each month in its own separate file. Okay. And yeah, you just sit there, you'll import those files directly into Sage 50, and that's how you'll bring those bank statements in. So again, we show you how to bring in expenses, we show you how to bring in credit card statements, and we showed you how to bring in bank statements. Okay. Thomas, I don't see the Q&A unless it's popping up on my screen, but are there any questions over either auto entry or account rec in Sage 50?
No questions so far, but
Okay.
please feel free to ask anything. We have a bit of time, and
Okay.
Damon will be here to answer any questions, technical or not.
Absolutely. And guys, I know that this was more of an auto entry into Sage 50 webinar, but if you we still have some time, like you said, if you have any other questions on anything else in Sage 50 or in auto entry, I'd be more than happy to answer those questions also. Okay. I will say this: the auto entry, I'm really familiar with the features of auto entry, but when we do demos for auto entry, my colleague Lisa Beaver is the one that primarily does those, because she is the auto entry guru. So I'm pretty good, but she's the guru. So typically when we have those type of demos, or in this case the webinar, she would have been doing this one, but she's on I would say assignment, but she's actually in Orlando at one of our not a meeting, what do they call those things, those marketing things, whatever. But that's what she's doing. So unfortunately, she's not here today, or she would have been. I still don't see the. Oh, here we go. Let's see if there's any other questions. Let's see. Here's the chat. Okay. So it looks like someone did ask about tax allocation. Now, it won't specifically extract the tax amount. Let me show you on my screen here. Here's AutoEntry. So when we look at those bills or those expenses are coming in. So these are the expenses coming in. If I just, let's take a look at this $3 cafe. So what you'll notice is it doesn't show me the tax. It only shows me the net or the total of the bill, 4072. Now, it doesn't even show me the tip feature on here. But what you can do, once this is sent over to the accounting solution, it's going to create a bill. Let me show you what I mean by that. So once it comes over to the accounting solution, let's see, vendors and purchases. Here's the bills that it brings over. Let's view it at it. Because you'll see all of my vendors here. There's that Walmart bill for 130. Okay, so let's go back to AutoEntry. Let me show you this one. So $3 cafe was done in February, so February 8th. So let me go back to my purchase list. And let's go back to February 2025. Okay, and I guess that bill didn't come over yet, or did it? Let's see. Let's change this to January, the 24th, January. And here we go. Got my $3 cafe. Here, say, well, just show me all. Here's all. Oh, so I don't have $3 in there. Okay, I'll tell you what, let me open this Walmart one here for 130 right here. This is the bill that came over from AutoEntry. Okay, so this is the bill that came over from it. It was a TV purchase for 130.41 on October the 19th. So if I go back to AutoEntry, here we go. Let's come back to our bills. We're going to look for that Walmart bill. And here's Walmart. And that was, there it is right there. Okay. Actually, I entered that on back in October, but you'll see here for 130.41, if I take a look at that receipt, when I was at Walmart, I called it the TV purchase. And this is the receipt. And I tell you what, this system is pretty good because even though that receipt was crumbled up and I tried to straighten it out as much as I could, it still is able to extract the data that it needs. It got the total, the 130.41. It got the numbers up here somewhere. It's that 07926. There it is right there, transaction number. And then the reference number 67544. It even took that from somewhere up here. Can never find that number, but it pulls the data. 67544. I don't see it. I see the transaction number up there. But you'll see that 32-inch TV, 130.41. So again, it doesn't show the tax. It doesn't show the 690 or the 707 in tax. It doesn't show that, but it just shows the total 130.41. So now that is in our accounting solution, because I did publish it. So you see my Walmart down here. It's been categorized. So this is what you'll do when it comes in AutoEntry. You'll simply assign it a vendor and you'll assign it a GL account, and then you'll categorize it. Now, it does give you the option when you categorize it. It's going to say, hey, do you want to memorize this? So every time something comes in from Walmart, you want to put it on that GL account. That's what that M is for. So it's been manually selected and it's been memorized. So every time I bring something in from Walmart now, it's going to automatically put it in that AR account. And again, you'll choose the right account and it'll put it in that form one. So again, this is the transaction that's been sent over to my accounting solution. So now I can go into my accounting solution and you'll see, let me just get this out of the background. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so this is the accounting solution. It just creates a bill. That's what it does. It brings it over here, the 130.41. If you want, you can say, in here, if you want to put in tax on this, you can say that the tax was, I think it was 707, but then I just have to take it out of this right here, 123.34, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay. So I could come in here if I want, and I can account for the tax. Okay, so if I want to do this, 13041 is done. There's the invoice number right there. Let me just go ahead and save that. Yep. And now I can go and I did it. And oh, that tax. I just choose something. It needs a GL account, so I just chose something. Let me save it. Now I can go pay that bill. Okay. Pay a bill. Pull up Walmart. Okay. Just pull up Walmart. You'll see that bill right here for 130.41. All I have to do is pay it. Give it a check and reference number. Choose the date that I actually paid that. Yeah, I know I created it last November, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to pay it today. All right. So again, in America, we work top to bottom, left to right. So you want to start here, go left to right, and you want to go top to bottom. Because if you notice, I checked this pay box, but then when I changed that date, it cleared everything. So left to right, top to bottom, come over here and pay that amount. It's going to come out of this cash account. If you don't want it to come out of the cash account, you can choose a credit card that you use to pay it with. Absolutely. If it's coming out of a cash account, I do like to show you this here. Do I have enough in that cash account to pay this? That dollar symbol there, and it shows you, okay, we do have enough. That a balance right there comes from that particular GL account. So if I show you the chart of accounts, you'll see that that amount comes from that cash account right there. Okay. So again, just wanted to show you where you can create that expense. It just cuts down on receipts. No one has to bring you a bag of receipts anymore and ask you, could you sort through that and get everything entered into the system? No, you created the expense. You're going to take a picture of it and you're going to send it to them. And then the accountant can go in and just categorize it and send it over to Sage 50. And once it's sent over to Sage 50, they just go in there and pay the bill. Okay. A cloud subscription? Absolutely. Okay, so I did, I was just on my last call. I was just explaining this. Sage 50 had a sharing feature in the past. It allowed you to share your data with someone else, and those changes are in real time. It was a delay. It could take a minute or two before that data gets to the other person or before you're able to see their changes. You're 100% relying on the internet, even though that's not a problem. But the thing is, when you're sharing changes every time something is created, that's getting uploaded or changes are getting downloaded. It's just a constant internet connection. It wasn't very stable. Sage started hosting their software. Now we have hosting. With Sage hosting, I'm going to show you this right here. Here's my Sage 50. You'll see here, here's my purchase list. And you'll see here, here's my payments. Okay, so now you'll see this here. Here's my 2025 Damon Yellow Jacket Sports Shop. But then also, here's a Sage 50 over here. Well, what's this? It has that little blue Windows apps. If you want to use our hosting service, you just need Windows apps. Windows apps works on Macs, PCs, iPhones, Google Folds, whatever phones, any phone you can find, Windows apps works on it. So as long as you download Windows apps onto that phone, you'll open Windows app and here's your Sage 50. This folder here, this backup folder is linked to you'll have a G drive. And your G drive is going to be linked to that folder right there, that backups folder. So anything that you put in that backups folder is going to show up in your G drive on your computer. So you'll be able to keep your backups. Unlike QuickBooks Online, you can't back up QuickBooks Online. And if you don't pay your bill or if you cancel your service, they hold your data hostage and they cut you off. Sage 50, because the hosting is separate from your software, even though you can purchase them at the same time, they're separate. So if you decide to get rid of hosting, you still keep your Sage software. You just install it on your desktop, create a backup, and restore it on your desktop, and you're now local. Okay, so that's what that is. But it's a cloud subscription, but yet it's not really online. It's still a desktop solution. And as you'll see, the cloud version. Well, here's my desktop solution here. Now let's take a look at my cloud solution. Let me go into SBD. Here's our cloud solution. And oh my gosh, was it Sage at 123? I hope. Thank you. Sometimes I can remember those. This is my desktop solution, right? I mean, this is my hosted solution. Okay, I'm in a SBD manufacturing and distribution. This is hosted. It's hosted on Microsoft Azure. So now the benefit of this is If you have 10 users using a hosted service and your guys are in 10 different states, it doesn't matter because anytime a transaction is entered, everybody's going to see it right away because this is you're all logging into the same company. It's almost like logging into the same computer. Okay, so you log in, any changes you make, they're going to be seen by the others immediately. There's no delay in this here. Also, the backups, you can create backups in here. You can create backups in here and you can store these backups. Let's do a backup, and I can store these backups in my backups folder. And then that's going to sync to my Sage 50 folder. I mean, it's going to sync to my folder on my computer. So you can put your backups in here. That way your data is never held hostage. Even if your Sage 50 subscription expires, you still have 20 days of usage before it goes into read-only mode. So we still never hold your data hostage. Even in read-only mode, you have access to see your data. You just can't make any changes to it. But for the first 20 days after your subscription expires, or if you cancel, you still got access to it for 20 days. Now, the hosting, if you cancel that, you'll lose access to it right away. But all you have to do is just create a backup, put it in your folder, then cancel the hosting service, and then you can just go and install Sage on your local computer and restore that backup there. So that's our cloud subscription. But yes, we do have that now.
Damon, I think the question also works that if you don't have the cloud subscription, you can still use AutoEntry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because the AutoEntry, again, it's a separate website. So AutoEntry works separately. Again, with Sage 50, you can see my screen here. You see that little red eye there? That's a syncing tool. And if I click on it, you'll see that my Damon's Yellow Jacket Sports Shop is synced to my Sage 50. So this desktop solution, you have to have that syncing tool. But with the hosting service, because the hosting service is brand new, they haven't gotten this to sync yet. So it's just a matter of time. They're working on it diligently to get this to sync. But once they do, then you'll be able to use AutoEntry, the expenses. You'll be able to create those expenses in out in the field with using the application, and it'll sync with the hosted service. We're probably about 30 days out from it being corrected and connected to Sage 50. But in the meantime, the banking, where if you want to take pictures of the bank statements or the credit card statements and upload those into Sage 50 or import them into Sage 50, that doesn't require syncing. That doesn't require this here. Because what you're doing when you're using AutoEntry is you're creating that file that you're going to upload into Account Rec. So to answer the question, AutoEntry does work with the syncing. With the hosted version if you're just uploading the OFX file. But if you're wanting it to sync with the expenses or for the expenses, that's probably again about 30 days out because they're working to get that sync with the hosting service. I hope that answered the question. I'm just going through just to see if there's any questions I missed. Okay, and Shannon, thank you for that question. And Jan, also thank you for your question. Okay, so Shannon asks, is this only available if you have a cloud subscription? Shannon, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Are you referring to Sage Hosting or are you referring to AutoEntry? Oh, thank you. My pleasure. She said I answered the guy, so yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So, hey, we still have a few more minutes. Um, while we're waiting on other questions to come in, let me show you something else here. I'm going to get out of this cloud version, and I'm going to get back to my Sage 50 version. Here it is. I'm going to get out of this company here. In Sage 50, you can have as many companies as you like. And Sage 50 Pro, you can only have one company open at a time. In Sage 50 Premium and in Sage 50 Quantum, you can have as many companies open as you like at a time. Let me go into one of those shared companies. Remember I was telling you about that sharing feature. This is one of the shared companies. The only reason I'm going into this shared company is because in order for me to show you cloud-based features in Sage 50, we have to be migrated to a cloud-based company. Again, it sounds difficult, but it's not. You have to create a free account because it's called your Sage account, and that's how you're going to log into those cloud-based features. I'm going to come over here to apps and services. I'm going to show you what I mean by those cloud-based features. Excuse me. In Sage 50, we have what we call bank feeds. I'm going to show you that feature in just one moment. This will allow you to log into your online banking and download those bank statements directly into your account rec. The limitations, I think I mentioned this earlier, most banks only allow you to go back 90 days. So if you logged in, the calendar will come up, and by default, it will probably bring you back somewhere around March 25th, 26th, somewhere in there. You wouldn't be able to go back further than that using bank feeds. If you wanted to go back further than that, you'd have to use the import feature that we showed you creating the OFX. Invoice payments, this feature is another cloud-based feature here. This allows you to use either PayPal or Stripe or Paya or Fortis to process your credit cards. Once you, what you can do is you can email an invoice to a customer, and within that email, you can embed a Pay Now link or a Pay Now button. And what it does, it allows that customer to view the invoice, and then it allows them to click that Pay Now link or that Pay Now button and enter their payment information. Once they do and they send it, it's going to get sent to whoever processes your credit cards or Fortis. Once they process them, PayPal and Stripe, once they process the credit card payments, they deposit the funds in your agreed account. You will then come over and you'll mark those invoices that the customer invoices, you'll mark them as paid in full. Okay. Fortis and Paya, they're a little different. They like to come into the software and do a little bit more for you. So if Paya or Fortis processes your credit card payments, again, once they process them, they'll deposit the funds in the agreed account. But then these two will come over and they'll put it in the payment center, how much those customers paid. So now you can come over and you can track your payments that you receive from those customers by opening up in the payment center. Also, those two will go into those invoices and mark them as paid in full for you. So if you use Fortis or Paya to process your credit card payments, they will actually come in there and do a little bit more within the system. Of course, if you use Fortis or Paya, they actually changed the name. I can't remember the name that they changed it to. But if you use either one of these two, they will have to come into your system and set it up where it's going to feed that data to them. Okay. Cloud backups, this is just simply creating automatic backups and sending them to your OneDrive folder. In the past, that was actual process, but they've since disabled that process. So now we just kind of show you how to create backups and send them to your OneDrive folder. AutoEntry, we don't need to talk about that. I don't know anything about AutoEntry, so but no, great software, great package. This is just another one of our cloud-based features. Remote data access, that's that sharing feature that I was just talking about. And again, the way that works is you create whoever shares the company, they create a backup of the company, and it's going to upload that backup to Amazon Web Services. The other users that want to have access to that shared data, they will just simply connect to a shared company. And then it's going to ask them to log in with their Sage account. Your Sage account is your email and whatever password you tie to it. You'll log in with your Sage account, and then you'll see a list of companies that people shared with. You just click on it and connect, and it'll download that backup from Amazon Web Services down to your computer, and it'll restore the company on your computer. And at that point, you'll have the company on your computer, and so will the others. What you're doing is sharing the changes that you make in data. So anytime you make a change in data, it's going to send that change to Amazon Web Services and back down to the other users. Let me show you this real quick, guys. I'm going to take this customer here. And again, I'm changing data. So I'm going to take this customer, I'm going to delete their record. And when I delete their record, you're going to see, once I delete it, it's just a matter of time before Shannon sees on her computer that I've deleted that record. So now she got my changes in data. I'm going to delete this. And once I do, I want you to look at this window here. Right there, uploaded to remote data access. That change that I just made just got uploaded to Amazon Web Services and down to the other users. So they'll see that I just deleted that record. And again, this feature works great because you can be in different states, different countries. As long as you have access to the internet, you're good to go. It's just a sharing feature that allows you to share changes in data. This is actually built into the software, so there's no additional cost for this. But by default, it is a single user feature. So if you wanted to make it multi-user, you wouldn't need to add another module to it. You would need to add a Sage Drive multi-user module that would expand it and make it multiple users. All right, but that's the sharing feature here. But I didn't come here to talk about that. I came here to show you account rec. And particularly, we're not talking about importing, we're talking about bank feeds. All right, so I'm going to pull up bank feeds, even though I know my date range is way off. So let's go to 24, let's go to 25, let's do, whatever. Let's pull up February 2025. Okay, so you'll see my deposits for this particular cash account. You'll see my AP checks or outgoing checks. I'm going to connect to bank feeds, and it's going to ask me, oh, yes. Because I just did an import. So say, hey, you chose a different method of importing. You want to continue? Yes. Bank feeds, all you have to do is just type in the name of the bank. More than likely, it's going to be there. We had one this morning, the commercial bank. It was there, but it was specific for a state. We weren't sure. So we just tell people, hey, if you try to type in a bank in here and you don't see it, like Navy Federal, if you don't see it, just tell us about it. Basically, what it'll do when you tell us about it, it's going to ask us, can you give us the name of the bank? Can you give what type of account that is, cash or checking, savings, money market, credit, or whatever? And then give me the URL, https://www.com. I need that because they're going to verify that URL. And more than likely, it's going to be a secure URL. So it's going to be an HTTPS. They need that information so they can reach out to the bank, verify that it's accurate. Also, they need to verify that the bank will not block Plaid. Plaid is the process that Sage uses to securely connect to your bank. If the bank blocks Plaid, you won't be able to use this bank feeds feature. But hey, Navy Federal is actually in there. So there's Navy Federal Credit Union. And all I have to do is just verify the URL. Yeah, that's how I get there. Okay, you'll see that HTTPS. Okay, they need all of that. Then here is say, hey, just have your signing credentials ready. And just keep in mind that most banks limit you to 90 days. Now it's going to ask you, it's going to show you the secure way to Sage connects to your bank using a service called Plaid. If your bank blocks Plaid, you won't be able to use bank feeds. Capital One was the only bank at one time that blocked Plaid, but they've since released it, so now they can use it. I'm just going to continue as a guest, but you would, of course, enter your phone number. I'll just continue to guest, and it's just going to ask you to log into Navy Federal. And once you log into Navy Federal, and you'll continue to log in, it'll take me out. But once you log into Navy Federal, and it validates your login, then you'll get that calendar and it'll allow you to bring those that information into Sage 50. I'm not going to log in, but it will allow you to bring that information into Sage 50. Okay, and that's how you can use bank feeds. Okay, the bank feeds feature again is awesome. The only limitations is it only allows you to go back 90 days. But if now, let me say this. So let's just say we go back to March. We bring in everything from March 26th till now. Well, as long as I keep opening account rec every day, it's just going to keep opening up every day. So we can get into November and I'm still able to pull in the current transactions. It doesn't just go back 90 days. The initial connection goes back 90 days. After that, once you've established that connection, it'll just carry on from there. Every month that you come in, or every time you open bank feeds, once you connect to bank feeds, you're connected until you disconnect. So what's going to happen is every time you come into account rec and it opens, it's going to bring in the latest transactions that cleared the bank. This is the fastest way to clear transactions because most of the times you don't see those transactions clear until you get that bank statement, maybe around the 5th of the next month. So this way, if you open it every day, every time something clears, it's going to show up here. So it's a much faster way of reconciling.
Okay, thank you, Damon.
Is this only available? Okay,
I was just going to tell you there's one question from John Morrison that wants to know how secure the data is on the cloud.
Okay, perfect. So now keep in mind, it's hosted on Microsoft Azure, so it's very secure. It's backed up regularly with the cloud subscription or with the hosting service. I'm sorry. Keep in mind, all updates are going to be pushed automatically because it's our software. We know when the updates come out. So you'll get a notification maybe on a Friday letting you know that over the weekend they're going to do an update. They'll push those updates automatically. And then when you come back and you open your company, you'll just simply do a quick conversion and then you're in your company. So the updates are going to be pushed automatically, but the security is definitely Microsoft Azure. Also, because you're going to be using multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication, that's also your secure. Also, when you are ready to log into the company, you also have to have your login information. So as far as secure, Microsoft Azure, they have their own security set up. And then also multi-factor authentication is going to be, and when you're going to log into your company, you also have to have the login information.
But thank you, Damon, for all that information.
Absolutely.
That was a great presentation. I'm sure
Perfect.
everybody enjoyed it. And
Beautiful.
I guess that Dave would share the recording with everyone.
Perfect.
And let us know if you have any questions as well that come up later.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, it's a pleasure, guys. I really enjoyed this. And just let me know if you ever need anything like this again. I'll be more than happy to do it.